Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Welcome back to another episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and on today's episode, I'm sitting down with men's dating coach, Tim Brazeal, who is here to talk about his advice for men to get them to be more confident and to be able to approach women and just have a smoother, happier, healthier dating life. He also gives me some great advice on how to become more approachable, which is good. But dating is a topic that we all gravitate towards, but it's also a topic that we are all scared of. And the narrative out there is dating sucks. But I think after this episode, you'll have a little bit of a take on why you should switch your mindset on dating is actually not so bad. So we'll be right back after this brief message on this episode of Next to Madison.
Hi, it's your host, Madison Malloy. For those of you who don't know, I've written and created a powerful collection of books to help you build confidence, shift your mindset, and attract the life you truly want. From Time to Lighten the F Up to Affirm and Flourish, Color Your Way to Abundance, and more. These aren't just books, they're tools for transformation. Grab a copy now on Amazon or at madisonmalloy.com. Now back to the show.
All right, we are back with our amazing guest on this episode of Next to Madison. I've got men's dating coach in the studio, Tim Brazeal. This guy is funny, he is very knowledgeable, and he has built quite a following. So I'm honored to have him in the studio. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. I didn't know I was funny. That's sick.
I saw some of your content and I was like, that's kind of funny. Like it's in a good way, not like in a bad way. But I have to ask you, like, how the heck did you get into this?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So when I was like 18, I had classic like teenager like stuff with girls. So I had like a couple girlfriends. I played basketball in high school. So like kind of lucked into a couple relationships. One was really bad. Like it was a girl I was dating and I was so down bad for this girl. We had dated for like a month. I was like madly in love with her. She cheated on me with her ex and like got back with him and like totally ghosted me. And I was like destroyed, even though it was like probably a great thing that happened. And so that kind of made me realize like, oh, I just don't talk to girls at all. Like it's, I like send weird Facebook messages and stuff like to girls online that I go to school with, but like that was it. And so I found these like prank videos online, like the prank videos where like they go out to like a college campus and like do weird pickup lines on girls and stuff.
Yeah.
But I saw these guys and they were like getting phone numbers and stuff. I was like, oh, you could like just talk to a girl? That's fucking crazy. That is awesome. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do that. So when I was in high school, I was a senior. I would just like go to the college campus, like in my town. I would just like go out and like try to talk to people. I'd go to the mall, try to socialize. Like I couldn't talk to girls without shaking. It was terrible. I was so shy. And I'm still like naturally pretty introverted. Like I have to warm up. A lot of the rejection clips that I have online, like that's just me being awkward and shy because I haven't talked to someone that day. And so I'm like filming and I'm feeling shy. And I'm like, oh, I have these glasses on. I feel weird. And so that's just like naturally kind of how I am like normally before I like, warm up and stuff. So yeah, I got really into that. When I was like 22, I hired a coach to like help me with my confidence and approaching and all that kind of stuff, like learn how to have better relationships with women, just be more attractive, more masculine, more assertive, all that kind of stuff. And then I was working at like a fried chicken restaurant and I wanted to do something else. And I had already dropped out of school like twice. And at the time I was working like part-time at like a digital marketing agency. And we were selling for like some influencers, like some coaching programs and stuff. And so I had done some sales for that. And I was like, well, these guys that I'm selling on this like men's self-improvement program, like they're asking me dating questions and I'm helping them and they're getting results. And I was like, oh, well, I could probably do that just on my own. So then some of them like hired me and wanted me to work with them. And that's kind of how I started.
And how long's it been?
Like 6 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like 20, I was like this 23-year-old kid that's like 2-time college dropout, like coaching like dudes that are like 40 on like, hey bro, this is how you text a girl on Bumble. Like you say this, you say that. And they're like, oh, this is amazing. It's so cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Wait, so why do you think that men are struggling so much in dating right now?
I think that it's just like, there's just been a really big culture shift where for a long time, and this is like the counterintuitive thing I was talking about earlier. For a long time, as a guy, like, not to sound like a super woke, like cringe guy, but like women couldn't really do anything. Like you couldn't really do much on your own. You didn't really have much of a job. So
like back in the day.
Like you have a paycheck as a guy, you go up to a girl and you're like nice and get her flowers and she has like a good life set up for her. That's kind of all you needed to like get into a relationship. But now it's like women still want all the same things in terms of like a guy that's assertive, masculine, dominant, like has these like confident traits.
Yeah.
But they want the like emotional side of it. And that's way more important. So like the weight of how you make a girl feel when you're with her is so much more important now. And I think a lot of guys like just kind of got left behind with that and don't really know how to communicate in a way that's like flirty or fun and take themselves too seriously. They over-index on like all the stuff that doesn't really matter that much. Like, oh, well, I make good money. Like she should like me. I'm tall. I'm jacked. Like she should like me. And it's like, well, yeah, but like you don't make her feel anything.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel like really feminine and soft and sweet when she's around you. Like she can't just let go.
Yeah. Women want to feel safe.
Yeah.
We do. When we mean that is like, we want to feel like we can be vulnerable and that person's like stepping up. I've been in a lot of relationships where it's like my masculine was probably driving it because I didn't feel safe. I felt like I had to compete.
Yeah.
You know? And like for a while it was like, well, I can't get a husband until I, I'm rich. Because I got to bring something to the table. Like that was a freaking narrative I played in my head for about 5 years in my 30s. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah. But also the apps are things too, because it's like, there's just, and it affects women too. The grass is like, what else is out there? What else am I missing? And there's just so many options. You go through a breakup, literally that same day, you can get on there and start shopping for a catalog of dick.
Yep. That's true. Yeah. Well, girls can. Guys can't.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's like so brutal.
But I see the thing is most women think that it's easier for men.
Yeah. I do think that men have a lot more control over it. I actually do think that like if you have really attractive masculine behaviors and you have like some good game and you're fun to be around and you're very masculine and you've trained that, you've practiced it, I actually think it is easier for men. Like that alone puts you in like the top 10%. I talk to any girl, the bar is so low. It's like, dude, watch one, I don't even know if this is cool to like talk about on the podcast. We can cut it out or not. But like watch one video on how to eat pussy, okay? Like, and you're like up here. You're like a god. It's like, it's insane. And so like the bar is just, it's so low in terms of like how much effort you have to put in that I think a lot of guys have a lot more control over it than
Well, I always say this
think.
to women. I say keep your legs closed because you're making it worse for everybody else. Like if people think it's, getting laid is that easy, they're not really going to put in the effort for people. So it's like, lock that snatch up.
Yeah. I think that I do think like 90% of the time, yes. Like I think it's one of those things where I think women should be very selective in terms of like the type of guy. Yeah. But then once you meet a guy that is like very masculine, very assertive, like you want to make sure that you're just like letting go and you're like, okay, like let's do this thing. Cause I think that like if you get into, I mean, honestly, like you talk to a guy that has like a lot of options, like the sex isn't the thing that like he can get laid all the time. So like whether or not you have sex or not, like doesn't really matter. It's like, okay, it's kind of cool. But for guys I will say also, this is a thing I have thought about a lot. Like if a guy is going to switch up and do things just to get laid, guys will play a year-long game to do that. Like they are so desperate. Especially if it's a guy that doesn't have options. Like if you don't have any options and it's a guy that's not getting laid, he will act like such a gentleman and be just the perfect dude. Once he gets laid, it's like he's completely different. Like so many guys act like that. I hear it from like so many women. Yeah.
It's true. It's like, that's why it's like, you're afraid to, you don't want to sleep with them too soon. But then it's like, they're different. So it makes women scared to sleep with them.
Yeah. No, yeah. And that totally makes sense. Cause like, it's one of those things where you could be like, oh, I did everything right. I didn't fuck this guy for like 6 months. he's so amazing. And then you have sex with him and it's like he just completely switched, completely different person, starts acting like a baby, starts acting weird, like stops like playing the game. And it's like, where did this come from? What's going on?
But why? Why did he do that?
I think it's just guys put sex on this like pedestal of like, I have to act a certain way in order to get laid. And once I get laid, then I can like be myself. And it's like, well, what if you just were the version of yourself that got laid the first time, like the whole time, like for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
So like be really masculine, assertive, all of these things, have these really confident behaviors and like be the most confident version of yourself.
Right.
And then just continue that.
That's just crazy. So do you think like so what about the men who end up getting married? What do you think that's about then?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, if they get married, like, are they switching it off? Have they already switched it off before they got married? Like, what makes a guy decide like, oh, this is the one, you know? I think a lot of it's timing, which is unfortunate because women are like, my true love. And they're like, I'm ready.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's timing. I think a lot of it's also, you have to make an active decision to, there's like two types of guys that get married. There's like guys that get married because it's like, this is the best I can do. And they're like, okay, cool. I don't want to like have to go on dates or anything anymore. I'm kind of over it, which I don't really think is like a great place to be getting married from.
Right.
And then there's guys that like, they have a ton of options. They get laid all the time. It's not hard, but then it's just like, you have to make, because obviously going through this transformation, like I had a lot of really good experiences with like great girls. Mm-hmm. And so like, I had to make a decision to be like, okay, cool. Like I don't need that anymore. Like that could happen. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm going to actively choose not to.
Yeah.
Which like, that's a whole nother thing. Like letting go of like all the good short-term validation of like, oh, this new girl likes me or this girl's into me and like all that kind of stuff. You kind of got to be able to let go of that and just choose something else. Because there's good and bad with being single and just like getting laid all the time. And then there's good and bad with a relationship and like a long-term, like exclusive thing where you get married. So, you kind of have to just make the decision. Yeah.
I know, but like it is just so bad. I mean, I came from New York City. I didn't think I think it was terrible. I thought people were like nice. And then here, it's like still newer to me. You know, it just seems, but from the conversations I've had with women, I'm like, how is the dating here?
Yeah,
in Nashville, and they're like, oh my God, it's awful. It's awful. I'm like, everybody in New York saying that, everybody in Miami saying that, in LA. You pick a city, everybody's saying dating sucks. So it's not the city. Something has drastically happened with like a breakdown of like communications. I think it's all the filters, it's all the social media, it's all this narrative that people kind of put out there. And also like you're not really getting to know somebody. You're on these apps, you're like getting to know a version of them that you're coming up with based on their profile, based on their pictures, which is their fucking highlight reel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to, and then people don't know how to ask questions, how to go deep.
Yeah. Yeah. No one, like, I think a lot of guys, like, don't understand that, like, they'll think, oh, I'm, like, having, like, a deep conversation. They ask, like, all these just interview questions. But how you understand, like, who a person actually is, like, banter back and forth. Like, talk about things. Try to understand, like, who the girl is, like, as a person. Like, what's the archetype? Because people aren't that complicated. There's like 5 types of guys out there. There's like 5 types of women. It's like everyone kind of falls into some category of like, oh, okay, cool. I've met like 10 people like this in the last like 10 years. I kind of know like what they like, what they don't like, kind of their personality, that kind of stuff. And really trying to understand like who that person is on like a deep level. But you don't get that from like questions. You get that from like having experiences, spending time together, you know, like actually connecting, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like I think it's so important that like early in a relationship, like I think a weekend away or a short little long trip is a good thing. Yeah. Because you see like you're stuck with this person and you see, that was a mistake I made in my last one. It was like, you know, we didn't spend enough time together. So it was like I was basically only seeing this person when they were drunk in a way or drinking. Yeah. And it's like, no, you want to spend days where you can like do stuff together. So, you know, every relationship is always a learning point. And so I always say, like, it's always a blessing, no matter what, because it's a lesson, you know?
Absolutely. I think a lot of guys don't view it that way. Like, oh, I didn't get something from this interaction, so like it wasn't good or it didn't go well. Like when I coach guys, a lot of times like they'll come in, they'll be like, oh, I approached like 5 girls this week, and you know I got one number, but she didn't text me back, and they'll get like really butthurt about it. And it's like, okay, well, what can we learn from that? Like maybe you went in and you were like, hey, so I thought you were really cute. I wanted to meet you, and you just sounded super uncertain. And you kind of acted very like friendly and platonic. And it's like, okay, there's going to be no like sexual chemistry there. There's going to be no tension. Like, obviously there's going to not be any attraction there. Like she is like, oh, he's like nice. You know, he's like a nice guy, but like I'm not attracted to him.
Right.
So you can learn from that. And then the next time you go and be like, hey, excuse me. So you're totally my type. Right. And you can have a more like dominant type of like, that's another thing we can get into, like specific stuff. That guys can do to like be more attractive.
Well, let me, because you're talking about being out in the wild, right? Mm-hmm. Which is everyone's dream to meet somebody in the wild. Yeah. But I've heard, like, people have told me this, and I know it's true. Like, I am not an approachable person when I'm out. I'm not.
I can imagine you're like intimidating. It's like the blondes.
Well, and I usually roll in an entourage.
Yep.
I like my friends. I like my people. And if I'm going to go out, I am the person that's like, this is where I'm going. Who's in? Yep. Like, I like to roll deep. I'm not somebody who's just going to show up at a bar, like with one person, unless it's like a business meeting. Like maybe I will. But even then, it's like you're with that person and you're talking and so like I never get approached when I'm out. Ever.
Yeah. No,
because of this. I need to work on that.
No, I don't think you need to work on it. I think guys need to learn how to approach groups. Okay.
True.
Guys need to understand, okay, and I'll drop some free game for guys, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
In a group, there's always one person that has more open body language. Usually it's a girl that like has a boyfriend, or if there's a guy in the group, easiest guy to approach, okay? You just like, you go in, you boost his ego, very easy to get into the interaction, like, oh, are these your friends?
Yeah.
And then you can eventually start talking to the girl that you actually want to talk to. Like, you don't need to go in and just like hit on the girl, because that would actually be like kind of uncalibrated to do. Like, you're out with your friends, and then how are your friends going to feel about that? They're probably going to be like, oh, this guy is like trying to leech our friend away from us. It's weird.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of just giving a ton of attention to the girl that you want to talk to, like, talk to the whole group, get into the group. Like, that's one thing where guys you can just do that. Like, the girl that has a boyfriend, she has nothing to lose. She's like, oh yeah, I'm just like having fun. I'm just hanging out, talking to people. Oh, I like your jacket. Oh, nice, cool. Hey, are these your friends? And you just continue the conversation. You can just do that. Or one thing I like to do is, like, sometimes I'll like tell clients to do this. Like, you see a guy with like 3 girls, and they're like all his friends, or maybe one girl is his girlfriend or whatever. You go, bro, dude, you have 3 girlfriends? That's fucking sick. Awesome, man. And like the girls think it's funny. And then the guy, like, he gets an ego boost, like, oh, yeah, I'm like the shit. Yeah. And then you're friends with that guy. And it's like, now you can also understand the dynamic, like, which girl is he dating? Maybe the girl you wanted to talk to is like his girlfriend. And so now you know, like, okay, I'm not going to hit on her. And like, I can talk to the rest of the group, you know?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But a lot of these places, sometimes when you're out, they're so loud, it's hard to hear people.
Yeah, you just got to talk louder. Like, I mean, like, everything, all of these like obstacles that guys have, like, they can just be solved by like talking louder, making better eye contact, having better, like, more open body language, more assertive behaviors. Yeah. And if a guy's watching this and he's like, oh, well, that's not me. It's like, I'm not like that either. I'm not naturally like that. You know, when
you got to do something different to get different results.
Yeah. When I go up to somebody, 90% of the time I'm talking too quiet and they have to ask me to repeat myself, and then I'm like reminded, and then I talk louder.
Yeah.
You just have to do it.
Yeah.
It might not feel good, but if you want to talk to the girl, like, you're going to have to do things differently, you know?
So what about like when people hit on girls at the gym? No, please stop your clients from doing that. It's just creepy. It's weird. It's like an invasive space. You don't have, like, for me, there's no entourage around me. I don't have my little bodyguards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like very vulnerable. And I usually go like in no makeup, and I'm like, I don't want anyone to talk to me.
Yeah, for sure. So this is, if you're going to talk to a girl at the gym, you don't approach a girl at the gym. This is what you should do, okay? You go to the gym, you work out, you don't have headphones on, okay? Anytime you see somebody, and I try to do this, like, in Brentwood. I started going to the Y down there. So I try to do this when I go work out. So you go to the gym and no headphones in. And when you see someone for a second time, all you do is like catch them in between sets. This should be like guys and girls, like everybody. Okay. And you should go like, oh, hey, by the way, I just started working out here. I've seen you here a couple times. Like, what's your name? Cool. I'm Tim. I got to get back to my workout. It was nice to meet you. And then you leave and you walk away. And then the next time you see them, you just like wave from like across the room.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't be.
Yeah. And then you're chilling. And then eventually there's going to be a time where, you know, someone waves hi to you enough and is like nice to you. You're gonna be like, oh, that guy's like a cool person. Like,
yeah.
They're nice. I can probably talk to them. It's not weird.
Right.
Right. And then at that point, then you find yourself in an organic situation where you can extend the interaction.
Yeah.
And if you do that for long enough, I mean, you're just like the guy you walk into the gym and you're waving hi to like 15 different people. And then it's really not that weird if there is a girl that is coming there for like the first time. If you do go up and talk to her, it's really not that weird because it's like, oh, I already saw this guy like talking to a bunch of people. It's like,
yeah, he's like the little social butterfly.
Yeah, he's like a social person. So it's not weird. And then if there is like attraction there, if there's chemistry, then it's probably not going to be, you know, that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And so you want to take more of like a social approach in those types of places. Cause it's, like going up to a girl and like sticking in the interaction for like 5 minutes while she's trying to do her workout. It's like fucking weird. Like
it is weird.
Yeah.
But back to like having interactions with people at like the gym or at the bar, like what would be your advice for like women and like me particularly, like how to become more approachable? Because I don't want to always be closed off.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, the biggest thing is like, this is going to be such a fucked up sounding analogy. Okay. But like kind of be like in the group dynamic, like the wounded gazelle. It's like kind of like trailing behind, just like be a little bit more outside of the group.
That's
and
so
like
not me.
Have a little bit more open
I'm the leader.
Body language. Yeah. And so it's going to be hard to like get approached. But if you go out and you want to get approached, I would say like, basically you just have to think about it from the guy's perspective. Like it needs to be easy or easier. So maybe
why don't I just wave at them, be like, yo.
Well, yeah, you can do that, but a lot of girls don't want to. Like I've had interactions where like, you know, I've made eye contact with a girl at a bar like 3 or 4 times. And then I finally approach her after like an hour. Cause I'm like talking to my friends or doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And
God,
like,
I've done that, the stare all night.
Yeah. And it's like, why did it take you so long to come talk to me? I wanted you to talk to me right away. Like what's going on? And so it's like a lot of times girls, they want to be more passive. So if you want to be more passive and get approached, like maybe be the one that gets the drinks by yourself. Like just go to the bar by yourself to grab drinks for you and your friend. Okay. And then be like, okay, well, like this is the window where like hopefully a guy will talk to me, maybe stand next to a guy at the bar that you want to approach you. Just like try to make it easy. Have like some open body language if you're standing at the bar. Like don't like, if he's over here, don't like do this thing. Like kind of sit there on the bar, like kind of almost facing him so it's easy.
Yeah. No, and it's always so awkward because like no matter what, like we all get rejected and we all have an underlying fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Like I put this in like my first book where I was just like, the best way to get over rejection is to move through it. So aim to get rejected a certain amount of times a day or a certain amount of times a week or a month. And if you need 100 rejections in a month, like you're going to start talking, you're going to start asking for things, but it's not just romantically, everything. And what you're going to realize is that you don't get rejected as much. Trying to get 100 to 50 or 100 rejections is actually very difficult.
Yeah.
Because you've taken the pressure off. You're like, my goal is rejection. So like, I'm not really that concerned about this. You know, I'm just moving through, but maybe that would help guys too. I don't know.
No, for sure. Yeah. Like I'll tell guys, like if you're like taking yourself so seriously, like go in and like try to fuck it up. Like try to just have that in your mindset of like, I hope this goes bad so I can like get over it. Right. Like, obviously I'm not gonna like say something stupid or be rude or whatever, but like I'll go into the interaction like almost hoping it goes bad so I can just like get over myself. Cause like as guys, like we know it's stupid. Like we know that it's dumb that I care that, or I feel like I'm physically in danger when I'm talking to this girl. It's like 8 inches shorter than me and like 60 pounds less than me. I know I shouldn't feel like I'm in danger, but I feel like I'm in danger. I feel like I'm like, oh,
because it's probably the rejection.
Yeah. It's like the fight or flights. Like, I might get rejected, something bad might happen. And then once you force it and like it happens, you're like, oh shit, I feel good. Like I feel great. And I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. What is that old saying? 99% of what we worry about never happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing. But yeah, it's like, why do you think it's just so hard for men and women to find each other? We all want the same thing. We all want to be loved, seen, heard. We want to build a life with somebody. You know, I think when you hear women, because I used to be this way, being like, I don't need anybody, I'm done. Because I've done it, and I might have recently said it, it's a protection mechanism.
Yeah.
You know, when deep down at the root of things, we all want to like, so why is it so hard? Like, we're all so in our ways.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, it's just this like war back and forth of like, women say, oh, I don't need a man. And then men say, oh, what do women bring to the table? And it's like this back and forth thing. And like, because the woman said this, I'm not going to do the thing that she wants, or I'm not going to try to talk to women because I don't think that, you know, it's like out of spite for like this fake, like women all have this like fake man that they're trying to get back at, or like this one guy that was shitty to them. And then men have this like caricature straw man of like, oh, this is what women are. Like they see one podcast with like a 19-year-old that does OnlyFans and makes like $500K a year talking about, you need to make $3 million for me to want to date you. And it's like, dude, like that person is stupid. They're 19. They have no idea about life.
And they're one person out of like 4 billion women.
Yeah, exactly. But that's like the caricature. So like both sides have this caricature of people that they're fighting against or have spite towards or really butthurt towards. And then they start getting in their own way and be like, oh, all women are like this. And then they start, you know, like you see one video, I see this a lot with clients, like see one video of, you know, a girl like taking a video of a dude being like, this guy approached me, he's creepy and shit. And like maybe the video's even fake, but they're like, I don't want that to happen to me, so I can't approach this girl. Like that's like a legitimate thing a lot of guys are really scared about. I have never had that happen. I've never had that happen. And like in this whole thing, like coaching guys in person and stuff, I've approached like thousands of women. I've like just been in interactions with thousands of women just randomly. And I don't think I've ever had like a really terrible, bad experience. Like the most is like maybe she'll like text her friend and be like, oh, this guy was like kind of weird or whatever. It's like, okay.
Wait, so cool. Are you single?
No.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So, well, that's good. At least you've proved that your system works. But like, how is it when you are doing these like videos and things like that? Like, is your wife like, what?
No,
all these girls are hitting
No, she's fine. Honestly, she like kind of thinks it's fun. Like she's like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like, and also it's one of those things where like I am helping a lot of guys like because she really cares about making sure that women have like a better experience because of what I'm doing. And like,
yeah, of course.
I do a lot of stuff also. I try to do a lot of stuff where, you know, if a girl doesn't know she's in the video, I like blur her face, blur the name and all that stuff. Like a lot of these other guys like don't really do that. So I try to make sure that it's purely like educational and trying to help other guys give women like a better experience.
Yeah.
And it's like a greater good type of thing.
So people that typically come to you to hire you as their coach, what do they all kind of have something in common besides I just want to get laid?
Yeah. I mean, it's usually guys that want to have the option not to settle because maybe they've settled into a relationship before that they weren't really happy with.
Okay.
Or they put up with certain like bad things. Like, you know, you get into a 10-year marriage and like it kind of snowballs out of control. You start disrespecting each other. It gets weird. And you put up with certain stuff because you're like, well, I don't know if I could, you know, come back from this, or I don't know if I would have other options, or what would life look like if I didn't have this security. And so they want to have that like security of, okay, cool. I can actually go out and date on purpose. Cause like men and women kind of have like opposite issues. Like girls have tons of options in terms of like initially, right? Like getting a first date, very easy for a woman. Like you can get laid anytime, very easy. For guys, it's kind of the opposite where like women struggle with getting relationships. Guys, sure, they probably struggle with getting a relationship, but they really struggle with like getting dates. Like a lot of guys are getting 2 matches a week on a dating app. If that's 2 matches a month.
I've heard that. And like girls, it's like a freaking Sears catalog. Did I just date myself? You know what I mean? Like it's just like so many. And then what I found is like from rejoining the apps is like, I don't like to text. I don't like small talk. I'm bored. Like, I'm not going to sit. How much time do you like type out? Somebody's like, tell me about yourself and your podcast. What's the most interesting thing that happened this week? I'm like, Seriously?
Yeah. No, it's
I don't have time
bad.
to type this.
Yeah.
Nor do I want to.
It's also like not interesting. Like you're not even having fun because it's like, well, I just did the podcast. Like I know what it is. Like I don't want to tell this random person I just met like on the internet about this thing. It's like, who cares? You know?
But so that's the thing too, is like, I'm not very good at, and I'll write people like, hate texting, hate it.
Yeah.
Like, let's do a FaceTime. But I don't meet up with anyone unless I FaceTime them anymore.
Yeah.
Because
Probably
it's like, I don't want to waste my time. Yeah. I just don't. I'd rather be with my friends. I'd rather like be at the gym, like doing something productive for my life.
Yeah.
Than doing this. But like, yeah, I guess you don't realize that guys have it so much harder.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, especially initially, like for you, your biggest issue is like, you got to filter more. Guys need to get to the point where they can filter. And like, that's kind of what I help guys with is like getting to the point in your life where you actually can afford to filter people out.
Yeah.
And not put up with stuff you don't like or things you don't want, or maybe you're just not that attracted to the girl and you're like, well, there's other girls that I would be more attracted to. And so that sets you up for a better long-term relationship anyway, because you know, you're going to have a much healthier relationship with someone that you're like, oh my God, like this is my girlfriend. Holy shit. She's so hot. Holy fuck. Like if you have that and you have the options to do that, then like you're going to be much more confident. You're going to be okay with walking away. And I feel like that dynamic of like, I will be okay. Like it will really hurt my feelings if we break up, but I will be okay. I will end up fine if it doesn't work out. That's very important.
I think that is so good because it's what men and women need to have going into things. Because I think when there's that, I need this person or this desperation, it can get people feel that. You know?
Yeah.
Like this person like needs something. And I think it's reminding yourself that no matter what, I will be okay.
Yeah.
And nothing's guaranteed. We come in this world alone and we die alone.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that's how it is.
So it's like, what's that one song? Hold on loosely. Don't let go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like so true. If you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, like getting guys to, that's a big part about what I do is like, getting guys to the point where, you know, I have a few dates this week and like if a girl cancels or she flakes, like I'm not going to freak out about it because I'll be fine. Like I know this is a repeatable process because a lot of guys I work with, especially like my one-on-one coaching, it's like not cheap. So, you know, they have their life together. Like they're lawyers, they're doctors, they're like very successful. They own a business or something like that. And so like these guys have these systems and these processes for everything in their life.
Yeah.
But then they're talking to a girl and they just like say random shit and they just like say the same stuff they said when they were like 17 years old talking to a girl like after school. It's like, dude, like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, have a specific, like the things you say, you don't go into a job interview, even though, you want to be authentic in a job interview, but you don't go into a job interview where you want the job and say just like random shit.
Right.
You kind of have a prepared thing of like, you know, I go on a date with this girl and maybe I travel a lot and that's a cool part of my life. I'm going to make sure that I talk about the fact that I travel a lot. I'm going to guide the conversation towards that because that's attractive. It's cool. It's part of who I am. And like people don't know who you are until you say it. So you need to be okay with like bragging about yourself a little bit and knowing how to do it in a way that doesn't come off like super, you know, try hard and stuff.
So these men that are successful and have their life together, you think that they wouldn't struggle with women because they have money?
Yeah, no, they struggle real bad. Yeah.
Really?
I actually, it's funny. I did
That's shocking to me. I just figured, gosh, guy, after you know, 10, 20 million of net worth, it's kind of like it's a pussy factory.
I had I did a photo shoot with my buddy, Jay Harder Photo on Instagram. He does like dating app photography stuff for guys and like branding stuff.
Okay.
And so I did a group shoot with him where I promoted it. But one of the guys that was paying to be there, he was worth 150, 200 million, something like that.
Oh my God.
Like in his mid 40s, tall dude.
Good looking?
Yeah. Like I would say like normal looking, you know?
Okay.
But like very successful. And right when we were wrapping up, I think I like approached a girl. We were just like in Brickell, like, and she was sitting outside the restaurant. So I just like approached and I came back and he was like, dude, see, like, I want to be able to do that. Like, I can't do that. And like he would meet girls through, you know, maybe events or social events he would run. Like he would host parties sometimes or whatever and he'd meet girls that way. It's like, dude, I can't do that. Like I want to be able to do that. And I mean, that's
really,
yeah, really common. Yeah.
You would think that with that kind of wealth, he wouldn't give it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's like a primal part of us where like we have this image of ourselves that's like way up here if you're successful, and then you don't want to break that. You don't want to get evidence to the contrary. Like maybe I'm not as cool as I think. Like you have this thing that you built up.
So maybe you don't take as many risks.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I've never really understood that because it's a completely separate part of you. Like how much money you make and how in shape you are. It's like, that's, you know, discipline. It's being able to do really hard stuff and like work really hard. There's like pretty much no emotional regulation, no emotional control, no emotional intelligence required. Maybe in sales, you know, if you're really good at sales, you have some emotional intelligence, but you don't really need those emotional skills in order to have those things, like to make money and do all that stuff. And so it's a completely different skill set. So like, why would you think that just because you're a 10 in this area that you're supposed to be a 10 in
I don't know. I think
women?
it's just that we live in a shallow freaking world.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what most
Especially in
people
Florida.
think.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But in Florida, it's like guys will go on these dates with these women, and by the end of the date, they're like asking them to pay their rent.
Yeah.
Like that's what my guy friends have said.
Well, that's because she feels like she can. That's because she feels like she can, and you lead with money. If you lead with like, listen, I understand you as a person, and I'm not going to, you know, if we hang out, I'll pay for stuff because, you know, I'm the man, I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to like pay for random stuff. But I really, you know, I understand you as a person, and there's a lot of like sexual chemistry and tension.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when we're together, like it's like we're on fire. Like that girl's not going to be like, oh, can you pay my rent? She's going to ask like Bob, the investment banker that has no game. That's just like he's like a fourth grader emotionally. She's going to ask him because he's going to say yes.
I'm shocked that men actually do this.
Yeah.
Like it is crazy. And how I've never been able to ask. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, rejection therapy. You start asking.
No, I've never done.
That rent's gonna start getting paid.
Listen, I'd rather ask for a business deal than a allowance. You know, I got to use my brain. Got to use my God-given talents, right? Which did not involve asking people for handouts.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke, but I might get canceled for it. So maybe we won't. But it was a great fucking joke. I'll tell you after.
Okay. Good.
But no, that's unbelievable. And are there rich men in Tennessee you work with?
Yeah.
Because I'm finding a lot of like blue collar type men. So I went from like investment banker, hedge fund manager, blah, 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 like New York City, and all of a sudden it's like construction worker. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm in a whole different world out here.
No, there's definitely a lot of money here.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I work with guys kind of like all over the world. I have guys in Australia and Europe and like a lot of online coaching.
Yeah.
I would say that, you know, there's a couple guys I work with, like, you know, there's a lawyer in town that I work with, like pretty high profile. There's a couple guys that like own businesses here, like a guy that owns like a med spa in like around like Franklin, Brentwood area.
Oh,
there's,
nice.
Which there's like a million of those.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're in demand.
Yeah. There's a couple guys that like one guy owns like a car dealership. So like I think for those guys, it's a lot of just like learning the skills that they just haven't used. Like you put off every other part of your life so that you could make a lot of money, be successful. Then you just need to spend the time to actually, you know, these guys are really competent. They just need to like get in front of a bunch of girls and like do the thing and like be confident. And then you get used to it. And you're like, oh, cool. Like this is actually how it works.
Yeah.
Like I'll post videos sometimes and like I'll say certain things or like, you know, take a bad line and turn it into a good line, like a generic compliment, make it good.
Yeah.
And the guys in the comments that have like, you can tell they have like no experience with women because they're like, I just tried this and I just got out of jail. Like they think like it's just the craziest thing that you like can't say like polarizing things or like be a little edgy and make jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what works. Like you actually can, women are not porcelain dolls that you have to just tiptoe around, walk on eggshells. I have to like treat her so fucking special. It's like she's a fucking person.
I didn't realize men were so desperate.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's a good.
I'm going to play my hand completely different now, Tim. I think you just opened up a can of worms.
Okay, maybe I'll have to coach a few more guys so I can make up for the harm I've done. I think like it's. I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, it's it's very interesting. Like there are.
We were talking about like the rich guys, or like how hard it is for men out there because they're watching your videos and they're like, I can't believe, like, I just, you need to be edgy.
Yeah, exactly.
To get their
like,
attention.
Oh my God, like this is crazy. It's actually a good thing that for a lot of guys, like anybody that's watching this or any guy that wants to actually improve this part of his life, it's very easy because like I was saying earlier, the bar is so fucking low. It's so fucking low. Like you really don't have to have like that good of game to be in the top 10% of guys in terms of like how attractive you come off.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I mean, it's hard because you have to let go of your ego. There's like the whole male ego thing of like, you know, guys don't want to admit like, I want to get help with this. But I always had the mindset of like, listen, man, if I have to say that like I paid a coach to help me get better with girls, at the end of the day, the guy that's talking shit on me, the girl that guy likes, she likes me. So I'm kind of chilling. Like, I don't care. Like I got the result. So at the end of the day, I know how to do it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, who really won at the end of the day? It's me. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, true. And then what about like sex?
What about it?
Do you tell guys like not to be an asshole and try to get fucked on the first date?
I tell them not. What do you mean by be an asshole?
Well, like I just don't think it's appropriate to try to get in a girl's pants on the first night.
So if you're trying in a desperate way.
It's kind of like, I don't really, it's like I'm not going to call you anyways, but I'm going to make you give your soul to me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, probably what you're envisioning is different than. So what I would tell guys to do is don't try desperately to like, okay, how can I get in this girl's pants and like get her to want to have sex with me? Okay. What I would say is try to create a very like intense, like sexual tension filled connection as much as you can when you're on the date. And if you guys do have sex, that is fine. And if you don't have sex, that's also fine.
Right.
Like that's what guys should aim to do.
Yeah.
Because when you create that like really deep, intense, like sexual chemistry, I think it like tells you a lot about like how well you vibe as
but not on like, I'm just trying to put myself in that position where it's like if some guy's like overly sexual on the first date, I'm going to be so turned off. I'm going to be like, why is this all about sex?
Yeah,
like,
if he does it in a way that is overly sexual, right?
Yeah.
Like you can do anything. You can talk about stuff that's not sexual and like make sexual tension, right?
Yeah.
Like you can create like, you have a conversation and, you're talking and you're like this close, right? You're like 6 inches
more
apart,
like
just
body
like
language,
talking about random shits.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're like fucking towering over her, and she's like, "Oh my God, I feel so small and feminine," and like, that creates tons of sexual tension, and you don't have to like be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this to you" or whatever.
So why do you think most guys don't call back girls that sleep with them on the first night? Because the chase, I tell the women, I'm like, you just gave up. It was like the easiest chase in the world.
Yeah.
Like make it a marathon, not a 5K.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really have much of a... I think, honestly, it's just guys don't have the discipline to like make sure you actually... Because they're so starved for validation, like sexual validation. They don't feel wanted. They don't feel like attractive. That when a girl has sex with them, they're chasing that. They're not chasing the girl. I think
that's very well said, actually.
If I went on a first date with a girl and we just vibed like crazy, like, and we did have sex and the sex was just so good. It was like, we're both thinking about it for like days after. You think not calling that girl, even if we might not be in a relationship.
Right.
Of course I'm going to do that. So I think getting it to a point where like, if you're on a first date, if you are going to hook up with someone, like just make sure that going in like this sex is gonna be crazy. Because if the sex is gonna be really good, then like you're gonna like the guy's gonna see you again. Like absolutely. Like it's gonna be awesome.
I think most women are like looking for a husband.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have found no actual like difference between
I think if the guy's going to leave, he's going to leave. You can make him wait 6 months, and once he gets what he wants.
Yeah, I've never seen a correlation between making someone wait and having sex early. Like all of my relationships,
really? That's very
interesting. I think all my relationships, once I got to a point where I felt like I was kind of could hold my own in a conversation and like have a good date, I think all of them we hooked up on the first date. Like every long-term relationship that I had. Yeah. Like my wife hooked up on the first date, and we hung out for like 3 days straight after that. Like,
I think it's like we also have to get back to where we take the pressure off the gas and we just say, you know what? If it's meant to be, if it's in God's will, it'll be done. There's only so much we can control. There's actually very little we can control. I'm starting to realize this in life. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And sometimes you just have to surrender and realize like, you know, if this is going to be, this is going to be. Yeah.
I think the question that you want to ask around like sex on a first date is like, is this experience going to positively net in my life? And if it is, even if it's a one-time thing. Usually for women,
it's a no, because we have oxytocin and we get attached. Yes. So we get attached to something that we don't even know is safe for us yet. Or hasn't made us emotionally feel safe. So that's why, for me at least, speaking for me and most women I know, it is a net negative. It is like the worst thing you could do.
I would say yes, but I think a big part of that is because most guys, like I said, the bar is so low in terms of like just the types of guys that are out there. Yeah. That it's not going to be a good experience. Like, I think that if, you know, you go on a date with a guy and the sexual chemistry is like very good. You guys have sex, you hang out after, like he's not like kicking you out and you guys go on a couple dates after that and then it ends up not working out long term. I would say that having that experience is probably a net positive for that person. Like I do think that that's a positive. But
well, because you learned and you had some great experiences.
Yeah, exactly. Like you netted positive experiences. But
I think that's a good way to look at it because so many people get so hurt over breakups and they're like, did I waste my time? But it's like, no, you learned something. You probably learned something about yourself and you had experiences you wouldn't have maybe had. Yeah. You know? Yeah, exactly. It's not always, but I think that makes it a little easier to kind of process and move on.
Yeah. I would say that in general, women probably should be more selective with guys that they hook up with, but mostly that's because I talk to so many guys. And like, I just know, like I would not recommend, 99% of the guys that are in my DMs, I would not recommend like a female friend. Oh yeah, you should hook up with that guy. Right. But there's like 1% of guys where it's like, even if it's like one night stand, like it'd probably be a good experience. Like you go for it, like it'd be good,
Wait, so do you ever like meet girls and introduce your clients to people?
Not a ton. I have done like when I do in-person coaching, usually, if guys are like feeling shy, I'll like go into a group of people and I'll like start the conversation, be like, oh, this is my buddy. And then like get him into the interaction. Yeah. So I'll like kind of introduce that way.
Okay. So like you'll bring him out, like you're wingmanning him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's so fun. It's so good.
Okay, so in the different cities that you go to, because you coach all over, what are some of the best places for singles to hang out? And we'll start with the city we're in now, Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, just like for guys, like if you're a guy in Nashville, like LA Jackson is insane. Like you go there.
Oh, good. It's right by my apartment.
Yeah, it's probably like the best. I'd say like LA Jackson, Mother's Ruin's really good.
Oh, I like in German. Yeah, I do. They're opening up another one. So.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. There's, where else? Obviously, so Broadway's really good if you are really shy and you need like a shock to the system. Like when I have clients fly in and they're very introverted, just take them to Broadway first night and they're just like standing there like freaking the fuck out. It's like, what is this? This is crazy.
It's like a whole other, yeah.
It's like a completely different universe. And then like there's a couple places that I haven't done really much in-person coaching since last summer. So we're booting it back up in June. Yeah. But Odie's is the place that opened up and that seemed pretty good.
Oh yeah.
That was a good spot. But yeah, I mean, usually it's going to be like when I talk to guys about like, where do you go to meet women? It's like, go to nice parts of town, go to places that have like a Lululemon or like a Pilates studio or something.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Coffee shops. And then like at night, like just go on Instagram and find if it's like a cute Instagrammable place, like attractive women will be there. So,
oh, wow. That's a good point. Yeah. Cause
and you can just you can go to the location, and like, I guess women can do this too. Like go to the location, like the location pin, and then just scroll through like recent posts that are tagged there. And it's like, oh, that girl's my type. That girl's my type. Okay, cool. Girls that look like this go there. And so you can just go there as well.
And then what about Miami? Miami's a hard one.
Yeah. I went to Regatta Grove when I was out there. That was great. It was like super open, very like social environment. Anybody that's in Miami should definitely go there. Very good for meeting people. And then, just honestly, like walking around like anywhere during the day, like people are kind of out doing stuff. So specific venue like Regatta Grove was like easily the best place that I went. And then, I mean, like Brickell was fine. It was okay. It was a lot of like, you have to have
more of a Palm Beach girl.
Yeah. I would say like in Miami, you just have to have like, be so fucking assertive, right? Because there's like all the Latinas out there.
And you have to be real rich too.
You don't even have to be rich. You just have to be assertive. You don't have to be rich. Like, I think that like a lot of people think that, I don't know, women would genuinely rather date a guy that is like normal in terms of every aspect, but he's just so like confident, assertive, knows how to like make you feel a lot of emotions. He's very charismatic. Women would much rather date that guy than a guy that's super rich and she feels nothing for him. Yeah. Right. Like that's so much.
Because it's got to be like, oh, you got to get under it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that. You want to have like a good experience, like long term. So
yeah, South Florida is like its own. I love Florida, but it's like its own. I would not live there for like dating wise.
No, it does not seem.
Yeah, it's a little.
There's a lot of like Brickell is like very the not normal people. If you go other places in Miami, like there's a lot of pretty normal people. I don't even remember the places that we went because I actually met up with a couple guys that followed me and they took me to a few different spots like around the city. And for the most part, like people in Miami are pretty normal. Like you have this image of all the girls are like, they have BBLs and like all this stuff. You go to Brickell, it's like, that's all it is. But then, you go.
Well, the thing about Miami though, it's like there's so many plastic surgeons. It's kind of like the Wild West of plastic surgery. So like everybody knows if you're going to get like your tits done or something like that, you go to Miami because it's half the price in New York City and the doctors are like, might be even better or just as good because there's so much demand. Like everybody there, it's like nobody really has real faces anymore. It's crazy.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing that a little, there's a Nashville type too, where it's like, it's not nearly as much plastic surgery, but it's like a little bit of lip filler.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit, always like a slick back bun. They have their Aperol spritz and their fucking espresso martinis. Like you go to LA Jackson,
like sounds like a freaking headache right there.
It's a very specific type. It's just a little bit of lip filler and some Botox. And like, that's the thing.
That is hilarious. Oh my God. Well, that's pretty normal. That sounds like every girl out there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's more, I feel like it's more, maybe it's probably just more in like cities. Like I feel like cities, like just, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
That women are doing. No.
So, okay. So let's go back to like your coach. So when you sit down with the men, you talk to them about their strategy, you have them approach, like what else would you say? Like, do these men come to you and say like, I'm looking for a wife, or they're just like, I'm looking to like get more ass?
It's usually long-term. I want a girlfriend, but
not a wife.
Well, a girlfriend, then wife.
Oh, okay.
Like most guys want like families eventually. Right.
Okay.
But I think a lot of guys that come to me, like they want to get into a relationship and have a girlfriend that they really, really like. And then they will want to marry that girl. Right.
Yeah.
But they want to do it from a place of like, I have options and I'm not like making this choice where I'm desperate. Yeah. So most guys do want that. But to get to that point, obviously you have to have like go on a lot of dates and like get experiences. Right. So just understand a lot of guys don't even know what they like. Like they have this image. The classic one is I work with a lot of guys that maybe they move over from India and they work in the US or whatever, and they're like very shy.
Yeah.
And all of them want like the blonde white girl. And then they start going on dates and they're like, oh, I like brunette girls, or I like this type of girl or whatever. And like they actually get experience. They're like, oh, okay, I just had like an image of what I thought I wanted. So you just need to understand like what you actually want.
Yeah.
A big part of the first thing is just like getting over like the anxiety around approaching. Like approach anxiety is like probably the biggest hurdle at first.
Yeah. We all get so shy when we're all just like, we just want to be validated. If you think about it, the other day, I used to say like the two things on your forefront of everybody human's mind to make a great life, morality and mortality. Because you'd be a good person and then know you're going to die. So I think if more people put death on the forefront of their mind, that all this stuff, the weight of rejection and relationships really starts to take a back seat.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
It's like, do you want to approach this girl and maybe get laid, or you could die? You could also die tomorrow. And you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
There's like two different things.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's
but it is interesting. So it's like a whole, so what are the ages, like the age range of the people that you coach?
Usually like 28 to 34.
28 to 34, so young. Okay.
Around that range. And then I have some guys that, there's like a second group that's guys that just got out of a relationship, just got out of like a very long relationship, or just got divorced or something, like 40s. Okay,
so that's like the older, but it's primarily the younger guys.
Yeah, I would say it's 70-30. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And they find you like on Instagram and
Instagram.
That's amazing.
Just like social media stuff.
Yeah. And obviously you're doing a great job because people love your content and they're coming to you, you know, for advice. So who knew this, like, I guess the way you described yourself as like shy, kind of nerdy, no game kid in high school would become like
No, it's very
the girl whisperer in a way, you know?
No, it's super weird. Like it still is like I think it's one of those things where like I kind of always everybody always you have that inside you where you have this more confident, charismatic version of yourself. You just have to learn how to tap into it.
Right.
But I still feel the same. I still feel, you know, when I go out or, you know, I'm with clients and I'm walking them through like how I think whenever I see a girl, it's like I still have the same thing of like, oh, what if it goes bad? What if she rejects me? What if she has a boyfriend? What if blah, 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 blah. Like I still have all those thoughts. I still get anxious, still get nervous. It's just knowing how to like deal with those emotions and just go.
Yeah. Well, it's old saying, you don't get unless you ask.
Yeah.
You know, so you might as well ask. But what do you think, if you had to give advice to society of like, what would give you hope about society and like love? Like, I feel like our dating world is doomed.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, the thing that would give me hope as a guy is, man, there's all these people online talking about how dating is so terrible that if you can be the positive person and be like, no, dating is amazing. Like I always tell my clients, like when you talk about past experiences, past relationships, don't be like, oh yeah, my bitch narcissistic ex. It's like, oh no, she was like amazing, great girl. Just like it didn't work out, you know, like there were some differences. And you know, if you just talk about dating like it's amazing for you, you're like the one person.
You're gonna manifest it in too, more positive experiences.
Yeah. And so if you can, and also just looking at all like the disadvantages that guys have as an advantage, because obviously statistics, like they are true, you know, like the 80-20, you know, 10% of the guys get all the girls, that kind of thing. Like some of that stuff can be true, but you individually are not a statistic. Like you can impact that. And so, and a lot of those statistics of 10% of the guys getting all the girls, a lot of that doesn't come down to like genetics. A lot of it comes down to behavior and how you carry yourself and the actions you take.
Yeah.
So if you can change those things, then you could be part of that 10%. And then once you have that understanding of, you know, just the psychology of being social and having confidence and how attraction actually works, like things that women are attracted to, you understand that.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, it's a lot to learn, but once you do understand what actually is happening, you completely stand out from other guys. And so it's actually an advantage.
Yeah.
I'll even tell it to short guys. Like I have a couple guys in my program that are like 5'6", 5'7". And it's like, in a weird way, they have an advantage that I don't have, which is I'm tall. I'm expected to be confident. I'm expected to be assertive.
Yeah.
Like a rich guy, you're expected to be assertive. If you go up to a girl and you're 5'6" and you're just so fucking confident, like, hey, you're exactly my type. We're going to get along so well. You just like assume that it's going to go well. She'll be like, what the fuck is with this guy? Why is this guy so confident? Like, what's going on? Like, she might be
endearing.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Like, does he have like a huge dick? Like, what's going on with this guy? Like, this is what's going on? Is he famous? Is he like a rapper? Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And so you have that advantage of, oh shit. Like, I can actually use that to my advantage. So I think if guys tried to put a more positive framing on stuff.
And do you think you could, obviously you can build confidence. You can even fake confidence. I think you build it probably by acting more confident. The more confident you act, the more confident you become.
Yeah.
It's doing things that you're not comfortable with and conquering them builds confidence.
Yeah. You start by acting confident, acting more assertive. Like if I was more assertive, how would I act? What would I do? Probably speak up more. I'd probably hold better eye contact. I probably wouldn't do this all the time when I'm talking to people, you know, I'd have more open body language.
Yeah.
And then you start doing that and then you get positive feedback, positive reinforcement, and then it starts to build and it becomes part of who you are.
Yeah.
And you start getting out of your head and like actually being confident, but you have to start by just acting.
Yeah, right? Totally. So what is your one piece of advice for all men out there? And then we'll go to women.
For men, it's that this is the best time that we've had in like 10 years to meet women through just approaching in public. Like during the day, at nights, it's not even close. Like girls are leaving dating apps. They're tired of it. Mm-hmm. They don't fuck with dating apps anymore.
Yeah.
Guys are too scared to approach. So just approaching in a confident way sets you apart. It's an attractive trait. And then, you know, if you actually have you actually get some feedback or you actually reflect on, okay, I approached this girl and maybe I could have said this different or my voice was shaking. I'm going to work on that next time, and you actually make an improvement. It's the best time that has, it's in 10 years probably for approaching. Like the amount of times where I'll have clients tell me that they will get texts from girls after they approach and get their number, and they're like, the girl's like, oh my God, that was so bold. And they're so shocked because they're like, yeah, man, I didn't sound that confident. I think I sounded kind of like a pussy. Yeah. And she still thought it was like so bold and so confident, so attractive. And you can really set yourself apart. I think it's like the best time to meet women in person through approaching. And
what about women?
I think honestly, the biggest advice is I've thought a lot about this, and I think the biggest thing for women is really to, I guess, try to have a less adversarial frame around, like, and just, I guess, like, filter better and just understand, like, be okay with, like, some guys, they're just never going to get it. They're just not going to understand. You might really like him. He might be a really, like, handsome guy, but if he's emotionally a toddler, then just, you can't pursue that guy. Like, you have to let that go.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Because I think it's kind of one of those things where with how the dynamic is right now, I probably has always kind of been like this, but it's just way more extreme now, where initial first dates, women don't have to work that hard to get dates and to have options. It's not that difficult. But to have a relationship, it's almost harder.
Yeah.
And so I think that actually I do have, okay. This is my okay. So I have been on a lot of dates, and I think that girls that I had the potential to have a good connection with, but they started it like, I need this to be a relationship or nothing. Those never went anywhere. It was always very formal, very professional. There was no actual connection. It was us just like jockeying for position and, oh, I'm this, and just qualifying to each other over and over, trying to prove ourselves to each other. And so I don't think you need to go in and like just, if you want a relationship, don't just, go out and like hook up with any dude and like casually date like crazy. But I do think you have to have a casual approach to the first couple times you hang out with someone.
Well, yeah, you're just getting to know them.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm looking for marriage. I mean, the guy could be a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You got to vet the process.
Yeah. And I think you have to vet for, I do genuinely think like vetting for attraction, like emotional attraction, like sexual chemistry, not even just by having sex, but just like, do I get really turned on when I'm with this person? And then also emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Like if he really understands you and you feel like he understands like who you are and how you think.
Yeah.
Those two things, I think you're probably going to be in set up for a good relationship. And there's not going to be a lot of guys that have that, but you just have to be looking for those traits.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So how do people like find you, learn more about you, coach with you, all that good stuff? You can look in that camera.
Okay. So yeah, Coach Tim B _ on Instagram. If you go and you DM me Game26, all one word on Instagram, it'll start up a chat, and then we'll have a conversation about coaching. I have a few different options. I have in-person boot camps that I run in Nashville every month, June through October of this year. And I have an online coaching program. Also have a school, SKOOL, where you can join the community. It's $49 a month, 7-day free trial. You can learn all the courses, all the stuff that I actually teach if you can't afford like one-on-one supports. So you can go there, school.com/understandingattraction. And yeah, follow me on social media. It's all good stuff.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It's just so fun to have you on.
Yeah, no, it's super fun.
Kind of like diving into the male mind. But yeah, so thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who's listening. We will see you next time to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.